Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another live stream on the Nitsuj Nobel Twitch channel. My name is Nitsuj, and I hope you are all doing well today. We are resuming our quest in Breath of the Wild to take on all of the shrines, as well as take down the divine beasts. When last we left off, we had just gotten here, which is, I forget which shrine it is, actually. We are at the Ron Cat... Ron... Ron Catchta Shrine. And we are about to be making our way towards the Thunderblights, to Thunderblight Ganon, which should be a quick teleport all the way over to here. Hey, thank you so much for the raid, Lizard Toby. How are you doing? I hope you are doing amazing. Hey, Implord, welcome over. How are you, my guy? I hope you're doing well. We are currently playing some Breath of the Wild and getting ready to take on Thunderblight Ganon. Oh, it's no problem at all. You are one of my favorite people to watch streams, and we're friends, so, you know, I love hanging out. I actually just started this up, so it's honestly great to see you around here. We've got a couple of things we need to do before taking on Thunderblight Ganon. Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that you're doing you're doing God. You will be the first one to know apart from myself, and quite possibly everyone else in the apartment, because I will be super excited.
How did you get in here?
You will very likely be the first to know, outside of that very small amount of people. I may or may not lose it, but I also might not lose it, or I might lose it in a very different way. Cool, yeah, and if everyone who came in on the raid would be so kind as to... Oh, okay. Which Nobel incident might we be talking about? There are a number of possible quote-unquote Nobel incidents. By the way, if everyone who came in the stream would be, in the raid would be so kind as to refresh. Oh, thank you. I guess that also tells me which incident. If you'd be so kind as to refresh, though, you're not showing up on any of the view counters I have. So you might call it a protogen visor. However, I have been explicitly told by the person who created protogens I am not to call it a protogen. Ah, well, thank you, Implord. Ah, there we go. People are starting to show up on the view counter. Also, holy crap, we just hit 81 followers. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy about that. And MOX11, thank you so much for the follow while we were offline. Yeah, I mean, I'm already of the opinion. I was already of the opinion the character. Yeah. Well, my character runs into two problems. First, they're a shark. Well, he's a shark. He's a shark. And protogens are exclusively mammalian, but he also couldn't be a primogen because primogens are exclusively raptors. My guy is a shark, which breaks those rules.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, proto gatekeeping. But also, I have no respect for the people who make closed species, so I wasn't going to call my character a protogen anyway. Alright, and quickly here, I'm going to switch over to this gear. Hey, Gingy, you are not late at all. Normally we have a 15-minute lead-in, but with a raid from Toby, I couldn't leave people sitting in the lobby, so I started early. We are still actually 2 minutes out. Yeah, I get you on that. Gonna use the infinite run glitch. Yeah, Toby is so nice. We are so close, by the way, to hitting an average of 3 followers, and it really is May. No, sorry, not May. March holding us back. Throughout most of March, I was hitting an average of 1 to 2, but this entire month, it's an average of roughly 4 to 6. So we're right on that cusp. It just needs a like maybe like it's quite possible that after this stream, I will literally have enough to do it. Hey, welcome back, Crystal. How are you? I hope you are doing well. I think I took a wrong turn along this pass. Yeah, I did. And I didn't forget about you. I just had to have a little bit of lunch first. After Elkana's teasing earlier with tuna, I had to have some. Oh, well. Then you better stick around to see if I can actually do it. Actually, why am I doing this when I can go over here? By the way, I hate the trip up through that pass. Literally every run since the first run I've done, I've cheesed it. Oh. Well, I would not turn you down, Crystal. By the way, if you have Discord, please feel free to join it. I'd love to have you on there. Hey, it's totally okay, Emplord. I get ya. Like part of what makes me love hanging out in Gingy's streams so much is that it puts me in a nice, relaxed, calm state, and you know, I may or may not have fallen asleep a couple of times during his last stream, though not out of exhaustion, just because my body actually fully relaxed. And it was just that sort of like long, calm blink where your head tips back and everything sort of goes before my head jolted forward and I went, I've still got stuff to be doing. And also I wasn't tired, so there wasn't actually anything to keep me asleep. Well, that was a waste of an arrow. No, no, Gingy, it's because you're so relaxing and awesome to be around. Like, I feel safe when you're around, and that's what your streams do. It's not that they make me tired at all. They're not boring. They're not tired. Oh, you are in the Discord group? Okay, okay. Oh, Implore, that's really sweet of you to say about Gingy, but you're also forgetting about yourself. Oh, Gingy and Implore, that would be such a cute chat to be in. I may or may not have to set up a room dedicated strictly to it on the server just so I can see it. Alright, now for our next equipment change.
Oh? Ah.
There's a guard here and I know it, and it's just where he is that I don't know. There he is. Okay. I don't know why, but I feel like I should be quiet for this. I don't have to actually be quiet for this at all. So, chat, I'm curious, what was your first Zelda encounter? And because I had so much fun doing this on the last stream I did, I'm gonna go back to using my Ara Ara voice. Here we go. Let's hold these, and I'm going to... Well, that works. I may or may not. Who knows? Really, it all depends on the mood I'm in. Oh, well, that's okay, Gingy. I get it. Zelda's not for everyone. After all, more people are far, far more into Link. Ooh, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. I have to say, of the two, my favorite has got to go to Ages. But they really are games that are linked at the hip. I actually think they're best played back to back in order of Seasons and Ages. Gingy, you definitely get it. Far, far more people are into Link. Alright, now we have to lay another trap. Hold. Okay, far. He didn't see me, right? Alright, and we have made our way in. Time for the encounter with Master Koga. And his very deep hole. Ara, ara. Well, Crystal Wing, that is entirely up to you. Well, hello, Master Koga. Yes, I am, and I'm here to drop some balls on your face. I know who you are, Koga. Well, you might get slapped a little bit as I'm teasing whatever prey I'm melting in my gut, but I won't be too cruel to you. Gotta wait till it's higher above his head to drop these balls on his face. Damn. Well, Gingy, I just might have to grant that request. You're very, very little of a say-so fox. But that's okay. I like my foxes anything other than say-so. Crystal, I am very, very happy to hear that. This shark would love to have you as little more than belly fat. And that's Master Koga done, and I think entirely without getting hit. I didn't heal, so we'll see in a moment. Well, Gingy, I am glad to hear it. Such a good little prey. And an amazing friend, too. Well, you are certainly one of several jackpots I have won. There's Impy, Crystal, you. Oh, so many little jackpots. Good. I am very glad, Crystal. But my belly won't leave you as crystal for long. You'll crack and crumble until you're nothing but sludge. Ara ara. I am so glad to hear you like it. I am indeed planning on making some recordings making use of this voice. And in fact, one of my favorite things to do as well, which I will give you a little demo of right here. I'm gonna have so much fun teasing you in VR chat, aren't I? But what else could I expect from such a cute little prey like you? Oh, my belly doesn't tend to leave much around, but I'll see what I can do to save some of you. uh, there we go. Just had a little bit of something caught in my throat, but I managed to scoop down the last little bit of that prey there. Just hanging on right by a thread. Well, not much of one. Well, I do actually have some things to announce as well. So, given there are so many of you cuties here, I figure now would be a good chance to do them. First, we are still working on the 50 follower milestone, which we have now well surpassed. Okay, Link is starting to take damage from the cold, so let me get him on some absolutely adorable Gerudo garb. The way the leather there hugs his tummy and shows off his hips, just, oh, adorable. Now, as for other things, we passed our 69 follower milestone, which is why I am working on a story. However, it is sadly in an incomplete state yet. It might take me just a few more days to work on it. I'm hoping to have it done by Thursday, and I think all of you will enjoy that. And for those of you who aren't into non-say-so, as Gingy would like to put it, or as I'd like to put it, absolutely vorny stories, there will also be a Mario Maker level. One with a single coin for each one of the followers I had at the time. And additionally, I am working on a 75 follower milestone thing. I will be putting up a poll and playing through a Mario game. But it's not just going to be any Mario run, it's going to be a challenge run. Oh, I know, but I know we also have a couple of people who aren't strictly into Vorny stuff. First stop is going to be here. Alright, so let's get ourselves tucked nicely into bed. Additionally, the 50 follower milestone, for those who haven't heard about it, is a cookbook called A Pred's Guide to Cooking. The recipes are all done, however, the explainer sections and safety stuff has yet to be completed, so it is not releasing yet. It's not releasing till I am satisfied a complete novice could at least make the basic recipes in it, using only the knowledge in the cookbook. I want the cookbook to be a safe and enjoyable thing for everyone, including those who are not skilled with kitchen supplies. Now, the last thing I want to announce is I have figured out what our 100. Oh, don't be silly. Dingus foxes are very cute, and I'm sure are absolutely brilliant at making cute little cups of tea for big preds like me. And I wouldn't be surprised if little imps were great at brewing coffee.
Ah, well, you certainly got here fast. I should have expected as much from the princess's own appointed knight. She was out on a survey all day today. Still as the sands now. So, spill it, boy. Have the two of you been getting along all right? It's okay, I know. Your silence speaks volumes.
I am glad to hear it,
She gets
Gingy, though
frustrated
I
every
had no
time
doubt in
she looks
you,
at and sees you
or in
carrying
little
that sword on
Impy or
your back.
Crystal or any of our
It
other
makes her feel
viewers.
like a failure when it comes to her own destiny. Don't worry, it's not like you carry blame in any of this. It's unfortunate. She's put in more than enough time. Ever since she was a young girl, she's gone through rigorous daily routines to show her dedication. She once passed out in the freezing waters trying to
So,
access
what might I be
the
doing as a
sea.
100-follower special?
And she has
Well,
little to
I
show
will
for
be
it.
going through and recording the names of
That's the
every
motivation
single
behind the
follower,
message.
as
I
best as I can
believe
figure out how to
strongly.
pronounce them, as a long
She
pre-chord,
really is
and then
quite
doing a special
special.
Q&A.
You be sure to protect her with your life. It's quite the honor. The night brings a chill. It's probably time we take her in.
Oh, I see. Also, Crystal, I saw that you were getting very lucky with those crates in Terraria, and I am very, very happy to hear that.
Wait, what? How did you... What are you doing here? What's so funny?
Oh, you've been cooked into a pie, eh? Well, in the book there is in fact a fruit pie, which might just be something colorful crystals might go in. Alright, well, now we have to do a little bit of preparing for Von Boris. Oh, do I make you shy, little cutie? Well, I am glad to hear that. Oh, I'm taking your entire stock. I did not mean to do that. I meant to hit all of them. Alright, and let's check my bow. 26. Cool. 40. I'd like something a little bit more powerful, but it's all we've got, so we'll have to so we will have to rely on that for now. However, we do have a quick stop to make up in Kakariko Village. I believe we may have enough silent princesses in order to upgrade our heroes, or I should say champion's tunic. Do you like the idea of being baked into a fruit pie, Crystal Wing? Well, I really hope you do, because it's one of the few places cute little prey like you belong. am glad to hear it, though. You might be in a little bit of denial about it. I am more than happy to convince you. Alright, the silent princesses have not respawned yet. I'm grabbing a fairy, since that will be a very, very useful item to have on hand. Ah, we do have enough. Yes, please. Indeed she is. Gingy, you have a thing for big people, don't you? Well, I am honestly glad to hear it. I'd have you no other way. It's honestly adorable how small and cute you are. Oh, don't say that. I am an 18-foot tall shark after all, and you do have the goal of becoming a little more than fat on my gut, don't you, Crystal Wing? I'm just gonna go back to calling you Crystal. Calling you Crystal Wing is a little bit hard. Gingy, you definitely have a thing for big people, big girls, big boys. No matter what, they're up your alley. And I am with you, Ginger. The bigger they are, the better they digest. You. Oh, Implord, I am very, very glad to have given you such a problem. Two shards of... Oh, that is certainly more than I have on hand. Oh, indeed you are. You are, except for when that prey happens to be you. Then you want nothing more than to be the littlest and smallest guy in the room. Not that I mind at all. I do prefer my prey literally bite-sized. Because of the heat, I'm actually going to equip this Vigurudo headband. I know, I just don't feel like doing it before taking on the Thunderblight. It won't improve the part of the ability I like anyway. Right, I need to go in here and rent a sand seal first. Ah, we need a sand seal. Let's seal the deal. I am a sucker for a pun. And cute bite-sized prey like Gingy and Implord. And Crystal Wing. Oh, you'll miss out on seeing me trying to do the blight hitless. Hmm. I actually do not want that shield getting wrecked. That was the shield that I first successfully parried a Guardian laser with. So, I am not, under any circumstances, putting it at risk of breaking. The rubber armor would also help. Ah, well then. Oh, Gingy, I am very, very happy to make you blush. Same with Implord and Crystal. You are you are some of the best little cuties to have fun with. Unfortunately, Implored, I do not have the armor, and I want to take down Thunderblight Ganon this session and actually quite possibly take on Windblight Ganon. We've got 4 more Wednesday streams after this one before Tears of the Kingdom. That's 2 for the each of the next 2 Wednesdays, and here's the special thing. I want to take on all of the shrines in that time. Oh, and what's that, little crystal? I see. Well, at least I hope my voice is at least enjoyable, even if you dealt with the problem. I'd be able to tell the two apart, of course I would. Impy has a very spicy flavor, meanwhile. Meanwhile, Gingy has more of a, I want to say, tangy note. Well, I am glad to hear that it is enjoyable, yes, I'm glad to hear that it is enjoyable, Impy. Very, very glad to hear that. Slightly tangy, just like real ginger. Not so much spice as an amazing herbal note to it.
Right where we want it.
I'm gonna quickly make sure that my bow and arrow are the correct ones.
You all right?
Well, you are just gonna have to wait only a few minutes. This guy I remember how to do quite well. Tangy is a flavor I very much enjoy, Ginger. Very, very much indeed.
Unfortunately, I cannot appease Naboris on my own. I have no choice but to entrust the rest to you.
Oh, Impy, I couldn't agree more.
Don't let us down,
Well, well, well.
Oh, that would be a very...
Know how to keep a woman waiting. I can't wait to see you take Noboris back from Ganon. One thing at a time. You'll need a map to find your way around. Head over to that guide.
Alright. Yes, if Von Boris was a pred, it would be absolutely fucking huge. And I think to some degree terrifying. At least to the little prey, anyway. I see Ginger likes the idea of a big pred Von Boris.
Good work getting the map of the Divine Beast. The terminals that control Naboris are noted by a suit. Take Naboris back. By act, you're ready for the...
And there is that taken care of. And now to do the same on the other side. Though we do have to equip a weapon. Oh, no, we don't. I was about to say that we had to equip a weapon first, but we do not at all. Well, shit, I could have used that. That would be such a lovely story to read. Though I think it's far, far more likely that Link would be the one to eat Cass and become the hero. Well, remain the hero anyway.
There are 4 terminals remaining.
Oh, you are both gonna have to send those stories to me now. After all, you've now teased me with Elfboy becoming little more than the remains of heroes. I think you're not only going to have to send me those stories, I think I'm going to have to send them to Gingy.
There are 3 terminals remaining. Oh, I see.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that makes it even better. When do I think the Steam Deck is going to arrive? Well, I can't say for certain, but the FedEx issue date says that it will be arriving on April 28th, 2023, which is in 2 days, and I am very psyched indeed if it is correct. Also, one thing that is really amazing is that you think about how any other game would have handled this. They would have built a conditional system. Oh, I would absolutely love to do that.
There are 2 terminals remaining. Stay focused.
I've still got to go through and find a model, since I don't have anything rigged yet. Though that is one thing I certainly do wish to do. If I am going to go proper VTuber, not just PNG tuber, I want to get a nice, custom, fully rigged model. Indeed. For now, though, I think I'll stick with finding something sufficiently cute for my liking. Oh, will the model be capable of eating? Well, that's something I would have to figure out with a model artist, but preferably it would. Oh, that is one thing I definitely want to do in my custom model, is actually have it so that way I can open up and show you what the inside of my maw looks like, and not just the screen, the full thing. Oh, I have no plans of giving it anything other than having an absolutely amazing maw. I really keep fucking this head thing up. Oh, I am glad to hear that, Crystal. Though I would expect nothing less from cuties like you. Oh, Impy, and why is it good that I keep messing up the head part? Oh, I see. Did I skip part of the beast? No, I didn't. I've just never been sure how I'm supposed to get into this section. So this is how I usually get into it. I don't know. I seem to have only one left of the... I seem to have only one terminal remaining. So I think I've found at least a way. Even if it's not the way. I think I see how I'm meant to get in here. Hey, Jirosu, welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing well. By the way, if I'm saying the name Jirosu wrong, please feel free to correct me. Funny thing about your OC, she likes making gemstone jewelry for everyone, since she can crystallize any sand, dirt, dust she touches, and it makes her job easier. Well, that sounds like a perfect solution for making jewelry. Oh, this. I forgot about this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all I have to do is get two charged orbs, bring them into a final room, and that's that all said and done. We may not be able to take on the Wind Blight. However, we will at least be able to accomplish part of its shrine quest. Oh, Gingy, please, it's more futile than that. At least Link is actually getting somewhere. Any micro fighting inside of a macro will literally just be squirming for their pleasure. There's absolutely no, and I mean this in all seriousness, no other use for a micro to struggle. Oh, Implord, I can think of other things you can do with a micro too, like eating them. It's a fun way to use up a prey's life. I think so, anyway. Oh, well then, Gingy, do I have some art for you? And we didn't make it back up, so while I wait for this to come back down, I am gonna send you the art. Alright, there you go. Oh, Implord, we both know you're just a little bit too small to do any of the squishing. Oh, Crystal. Oh, that is such a deliciously good idea. Oh, if anyone's doing any squishing, it's gonna be me. But if Implord would survive, then feel free to go right ahead.
Well done. That was the last of the tournaments. Now, take a good look at your map. But overconfidence can be...
Alright, time to make our way into the Thunderblight Ganon fight. Well, Implored, you'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Stay on your edge, Link. This formidable adversary was made by Ganon, and brought me to a warrior's demise 100 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't had any trouble taking these down so far. I doubt this one will pose much of a challenge anymore.
This thing is fast. Watch yourself.
Well, shit. Okay. Yep.
Link!
Literally seconds after I say, oh, that's not necessarily guaranteed to happen. I'm sure I can take it on. I'm literally like, Everyone's having a good long laugh at the fact that
It is my pleasure.
You okay?
it'd be fine if this thing wasn't a fucking bastard. Alright, we've got to heal up.
You okay?
Alright, well, we've managed to push him into Phase 2. Phase 2 is why I bought the lightning arrows. Well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to, and we've got to re-up on food. Can you just summon your goddamn fucking bullshit rock lightning things that I have to magnesis? That'd be great. I got really good at doing that last time. Fine, let me grab an arrow that his bow wouldn't, or his shield shouldn't stop. Grabbing that fairy was a good idea indeed. I am super unsure of how to take this guy down right now. My plan right now is basically to keep running until I've got Daruk's protection. So if anyone wants to suggest an idea, that would be fine by me. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to take a hit, so this should, being the operative word, be the stage where he starts, like, flinging down the big-ass blocks and shit. In case you're wondering, I'm Googling. Because at this point, I am absolutely stumped. Okay. Right, food. Forgot about that.
Now's your chance.
What the fuck? I had full health. Okay, I'm gonna... What the fuck? I'm not sure what the hell just happened there. I didn't have full... oh, fuck me. Uh, oh, god damn it. Now we gotta go through all that again? Please just tell me I've just gotta walk in. Oh, thank goodness.
This thing is
If
fast.
I had to
Watch
fight
this.
that all again, like, or go through that entire thing all again. Oh, well, I wouldn't stop you from doing that at all.
Just like that. Great. Go.
Alright, Implored, you have a very good night, but before you go, because it won't let me pause, I have one last little thing for you. Oh, and don't be sorry. You need to take care of yourself. It must be stupid in the morning there, but before you go, one little thing for you. There you go, little impy. Now you can head off to bed. Have a good night, Implored. And we are going to continue with the boss. And yes, that was a sort of visual glitch where Ganon stayed on screen just a little bit longer than he should have. Now this is what Ganon is supposed, or Thunderblight Ganon, I should say, is meant to be like.
Just like that.
As we have learned, this is a amount of health that is entirely lethal. Good night, little imp.
You okay?
Sleep well. I hope to see you tomorrow.
Unleash your power.
And we have taken him down. Impy, if you are still here, well, I didn't take him down hitless, but you at least did get to see me taking down Thunderblight Ganon. And if you didn't, well, I'm gonna send you the timestamp, which is 1:50:51. Ah, thank you, Ginger. Alright, now, I had hoped to be able to take on the Thunder Blight, or the Wind Blight, but it seems that will be too late. It's gotten too late for us to do that as part of tonight's stream.
Which means that finally we can complete what we started years ago. Rigor
However,
tolerance for unfinished business.
hello, Abosa. However, we will be completing the Windblight Ganon Shrine Quest.
As well as for the moment when I incinerate Ganon into a pile of ash. Which reminds me, I wanted to give you a little something. Please accept this gift, which has come to be known as Urbosa's Fury. It will no doubt be of use to you.
Ooh, Link's a sassy little femboy with that snap.
I know you have suffered
My kind of
God
guy.
us champions. But this is how things had to happen. No one need carry blame. So please, make it clear so she understands that. Tell her to shed any worries. And let her know I couldn't be more proud of her. You take good care of the princess. And also, take good care of Hyla.
All right, and that is Thunderblight Ganon taken down.
Naboru, legend of the Gerudo, celebrated over ages. And you, who were named to honor her, you are a legend as well. Isn't that right, Naboris? The bitter essence of defeat from a century ago still sits upon my tongue.
And the sweet taste of prey from last night still rests upon mine.
Calamity Ganon once adopted the form of a Gerudo. And that will make this victory all the more satisfying. I like that. Now I can take this personally. Once we've established a lock on that thing, it will be up to Link to keep Ganon occupied until the moment we unleash our strike. That moment is going to be so delicious.
Just like whatever prey I end up having for dinner tonight. Oh. Well. I'm glad to see you like her, Gingy. I bet you'd love to be her prey, too. We will not be collecting these. Instead, I will be coming here and putting a pin. Oh, well then, I would not stop you from that either. Since we're here, I don't want to offend the Rito by wearing Gerudo clothes. I will change my attire. Oh, and a blood moon, refreshing all the delicious little prey around the map. Mm. Now that I can very, very easily get behind. Knew I wasn't far off from where I needed to be. Ah, it becomes a little bit less confusing now that I know where I'm meant to be going. Well. And, Gingy, if you ever want to have some fun with her becoming prey, well, you have my DMs. I wouldn't stop you at all.
The blood moon rises with.
Oh, I would be more than happy to have you play her. I am glad to make such a tempting offer. As for why I'm not sitting through it, I normally would, however. We don't have too long before we've got to wrap things up and go raiding. In fact, the timer is wrong in saying there's only a minute left. We have, in fact, 10 minutes left before it's time to go raiding. And after we go raiding, Gingy, please feel free to hit me up on Discord. I have several things you may enjoy. I am absolutely delighted to hear it. Additional little update I will have for you, Gingy, alone in DMs. But I did want to update everyone that we are super close to hitting our goal of being not just a streamer, but a affiliate, or an affiliate, I should say. That's right, we are at an average of 2.9 as per my last check. And I can actually do a quick check now.
Yeah?
Still 2.9.
I don't know you. And I'm actually pretty busy here. You should probably go.
Time to go target hunting.
Hey, not bad. Keep it up.
Why didn't I go into the... Why didn't that pull me into the quick time? Firstly, let's grab this swallow bow. And frankly, I'd like to swallow him right up. Teba, so cute and grumpy. Oh, we still have this actually.
Hey, not bad. Keep it up. That's it. One more.
He's such a tebating offer to consume. Oh, that chest. Well, I wish I'd seen that a moment earlier, but I do have the soldier bow. Mm. It's so tempting to eat him right up after we've cleared out the divine beast, but unfortunately we can't do that. At least not in game. And we will be saving
It's up to
right.
you. Be careful. It's targeting us. That's it.
Because after this, we have to go raid a good friend of mine. Because they are also streaming some more Breath of the Wild.
That's the way. One more.
These quests just get. Ugh. These quests just keep getting easier and easier.
Be careful. We did it. Well done, Link. That thing is history. Bad news, Link. Looks like I got hit pretty good back there. I think I need to get back to the flight range. I just hope that I can make it back. You head down to Meadow. Good luck. It's all you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna quickly check if my friend is online. Currently not, so we will be doing a little bit more while we wait for them to come online.
Well now, I've seen that face before. I had a feeling you would show up eventually, but making me wait 100 years is a bit indulgent.
Oh, I am such an indulgent
You're here
pred.
to wrest control of Meadow away from Ganon, correct?
Oh yeah.
If so, then the first thing you'll want to do is find yourself a map. That guidance stone has the information for the layout of this divine beast. Can you make it there?
Oh, it will cause me no trouble at all. Well, where's that guidance stone we need to make our way to? Ah, there. Okay. By the way, I hope you will indulge me in going and raiding one of my good friends, anyway. Unfortunately, we can't bring in a big horde to raid. However, we can do our little part, bringing in the viewers we do have.
You'll need to look closely at the terminals. You'll need to think you're up to it.
Think. Oh no, I know I'm up to it. And if you don't believe me, well then, just watch me. Ah, I see the problem. Well, this can be solved. that is terminal number 1.
There are 4 terminals remaining.
Still not showing as live. That is a bit disappointing, in all honesty, but oh well, we have more to do in the Divine Beast. Alright, well, let's go take another guidance stone back from Ganon.
There are 3 terminals remaining.
Now, if only I had something that was a sufficiently heavy object. Suppose we should always try a bomb. Likeliness to work? No. Likeliness to be part of the solution, on the other hand, high. High indeed. Alright. And making our way through to our next terminal. And our raid friend is still, sadly, not live. So, we're going to go a little bit further with this.
Two terminals remaining.
The roof's protection is now ready to roll.
And as it turns out, that is not what we want to do. Well. Ah. Here we go.
Just one.
Well, that is not how I expected that to go, but I forgot entirely that that existed, so... it is. I just went the long way round. Okay. Because I was about to say, aren't we supposed to be here? But it turns out we are.
That was the last turn. I want you to take a good lap to it.
I want to record what comedic moment just happened, because that just levitated. Alright, and it is time for our final divine beast fight. Before we do have a lot in the way of food reserves, but we will top ourselves up a bit just before we head into the fight with Windblight Ganon.
Good luck. That thing is one of Ganon's own, and it plays dirty.
Oh, I don't mind
Years
playing
ago,
dirty,
but only because I was winging it.
but I play dirty by melting little prey down in my gut. This thing likes to play dirty by doing some fucking bullshit.
Head on. Watch yourself.
Dead on, he hit me literally once. Do we not have a bow equipped? We don't have a bow equipped.
Careful. So good.
Alright, we've done it a quarter of its health. I think Rivali was just shit with the bow. Alright, what's our next most powerful weapon? It's this. Like, I'm no aim saint, but this thing is... Like, it's hitting me, sure, but it's not what I might call a dead shot. Also, the way Link pats his tummy is just adorable. Alright, pushed him into phase 2. That is what I like to see.
Watch your blind spot.
If I remember correctly, I can just bullet time this guy. Okay, good, our bow broke. That's not a sign of bad things to come. A chance to show off our parrying skills.
You can use the columns to shield yourself.
Don't really need that. What I needed was for that to not happen. But we can grab ourselves a Guardian Spear to finish Windblight Ganon off. Alright, well, we have taken out The divine beat. Well, let's actually grab our heart container first. And we've got to go and, excuse me, check out the main control unit. Yes, I want to activate it.
Well, I'll be plucked. You defeated him, eh? Who would have thought? Well done. I suppose I should thank you now that my spirit is free. This returns Meadow back to its rightful owner. Don't preen yourself just for doing your job. I do suppose you've proven your value as a warrior. A warrior worthy of my unique ability. The sacred skill that I have dubbed Revali's Gale.
Firstly, we both know you would be doing that if you did it, Rivali. And secondly, I think I'm allowed to be a little cocky. I took on 2 divine beasts within the same, 2 days. I've taken on all 4 in under a week.
My help while you're fighting inside Hyrule Castle. Feel free to thank me now. Or never mind, just go. Your job is far from finished, you know. The princess has been waiting an awfully long time.
True, fair enough. Indeed, if Link was going to be cocky, it, at this point, is very, very well earned.
Meadow's sights are now set. You'll have a precise bead on Ganon from this vantage point. And when the time is right, give him everything you've got. Now we wait for that perfect moment. Meadow, we've been artfully patient for the last 100 years. I doubt you'll suffer a feather over a few more moments. After all these years, I simply must admit the truth. Even without the power of flight, Link made his way to this divine beast and accomplished something that even I could not. Guess I was wrong about how lucky he would be. I hope that luck holds out, Link, for everyone's sake.
Oh, it'll hold out long enough to reduce Ganon to a pile of absolute gut sludge.
all of the divine beasts have returned to us, and the spirits of the champions are free.
Link's gonna have the Triforce of Courage and Power.
Ganon at
Maybe if he finds his way over to Zelda, he can get wisdom as well. And let's talk to our old man. I've got a purple pin on the map, and I'm not sure what for. So, since our raid friend has not yet come online, I am going to have to, I'm going to have to keep going. Ah, they have just come online, so I will give them a few moments to get their stream ready, and I've got it up on my viewer, so we will go raid them after I check out what this purple thing is. Ah, right, right. My bad, Cake. Oh, and isn't Breath of the Wild Friday? Because for some reason I thought we both did Breath of the Wild on Wednesday. Time zones are hard, especially when people mess up the dates, which I think I did. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think you mentioned that you do Breath of the Wild on Friday, which is after my Friday night fan night, making it a perfect raid segue. Ah, a shrine I can warp to. Ah, that is also very possible. Actually, let me think about that. Hmm. Well, I'm in Canada, but yeah, that's the time zone is Eastern Daylight. Well, I will just have to figure out what's going on that front after I am done this shrine. And I just realized I could have done a bomb first and cleared these out. Which would have saved myself a little bit of hassle. Hmm. Alright, well, then we are just going to go raiding. Who are we going to raid? Well, I think it would be good to raid a mutual friend of both, me and Gingy's. So, let's go raid JGW 246. And if you're raiding with us, I'm going to throw a quick message to throw in chat. Alright, so throw that in chat when we raid. JGW 246. Hey, Justin, welcome. Unfortunately, you... Oh, I am so sorry, guys. You got here just as we were starting a raid. I am sorry. Yeah, you guys just got in right as we were wrapping up. Well, oh, Here, can I cancel the raid? How do we do this? Oh, crap. I don't know how to cancel a raid. Oh. Here, Oh, I'm sorry, Justin. All right. Well, everyone else, let's go raiding. I'm not sure what's taking it so long. There we go.